Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video I'm going to do a review of the Tarte Make Believe in Yourself eyeshadow palette. I picked this up a couple of months ago in one of the Tarte sales and have loved it ever since it arrived. I think the colour selection is beautiful as well as the actual outside packaging as well. The only one issue I have regarding the packaging is the fact that the palette is round. Yes, it's great because it's a good size mirror, but it's really hard to store because you can't store it upright. But other than that, it is really nice packaging. It comes with 10 shades and a facial highlighter in the middle. One of the shades here, which is called Myth, is a matte shade. The rest of are kinds of foily metallic-y shades. Starting with the face highlighter, it's not the best highlighter I've ever used, and what I tend to do is use it to highlight my brow bone as opposed to a cheek highlight because it's not really good for that, but for a brow highlight it's fine. This isn't the best matte either. I do tend to use a matte from one of my other eyeshadow palettes than this one because I don't find you get much colour payoff or much of a base using this one. With regards to the foil shadows, individually they are great, but you can't really mix many of them together because they do tend to muddy. I made the mistake the first time I tried this of trying to put a few together and it just didn't go. What you're best doing is maybe creating a matte eye look or a more neutral eye look with a different eyeshadow palette, and then just using one of these to create a pop of colour on your lid, because for that they are great. I tend to, if I'm using for example my Naked palette, I tend to pair these more neutral ones with it, which are in the shades Wings, Magic, Pixie and Crystal. And I'll just put a bit on the inner corner just to brighten my eye. I think today I've used Pixie. If I'm using a cooler tone eyeshadow palette to begin with as my base, I will put one of these colours on, just to say, to give you that pop. They are also quite good under as an under eye highlighter, to really brighten your eye. They are really smooth to go on, but they are definitely best applied with your finger. One, you get more colour payoff, more pigment out of them using your finger, and two, you get less fallout. If you do try and go at these with a brush, you will get quite a lot of fallout on your face. Not major, you just brush it out the way, but just a sort of heads up in that respect. So I always apply these with my finger. I would say out of them all, my favourite shade is either going to be Pixie or Wings. Because of the palette I tend to pair them with, they're the ones that I find the best. I do occasionally stick one of the bluer shades on for a bit of a different look. I don't tend to reach for this gold very often, which is Marvel, because it's quite a bright yellow gold, whereas I prefer sort of warm bronzery rose golds, which is these ones around here and probably that one as well. But overall it is a really great palette, not as a standalone palette but in a combination with another palette. If you are sensitive to smells, it does have a sort of vanilla-y scent to it, as a lot of Tarte eyeshadow palettes do, but I've had this product a couple of months and I've noticed that it is starting to fade already. It's not as strong as I would say of the Too Faced Chocolate Bar, which is another palette that I have. I've had that palette for longer and that still smells as strong as it did the day I bought it, whereas this I feel is fading slightly. I think this usually retails for about £35 to £40. I did get this on sale for just over £20. Because it isn't a kind of all-in-one palette, like I don't feel you can use this as for one look. You do need to mix it, match it with other palettes. I'd say it's definitely worth the price I paid. I don't think I'd necessarily pay full price for it, but again, Tarte is a high-end brand and the quality of their product is really good. So it's kind of a matter of opinion whether you think it's worth the full price if you're just going to use it to incorporate it in a look with other eyeshadow palettes, or you are going to use it on its own. But generally the colours are amazing. I'll just do a couple of swatches on my hand. Here we have Wings, Pixie and Magic, and these are the three colours that I tend to reach for the most when trying to give my eyeshadow look a pop of colour. You will notice, I don't think necessarily see on the back of my hand, you will notice a trace of glitter once you've taken these products off, even when they are on top of another eyeshadow. I will do a couple of the blues now. So we have Fairy, Mystic and Dream, and as you can see they are really bright colours, and when you put them in the corner of your eye they do just brighten your eye right up. I wish I had the courage to use these a bit more because they are amazing colours. I just feel a bit self-conscious when I wear them because they are blue. Just do the last couple. I've done these completely out of order by the way, so I'm getting confused as to what ones I've done now. So here we have Trance, Marvel and Crystal. I say that Marvel one in the middle is the really bright gold. I don't tend to reach for it. It is a beautiful colour, I just don't tend to reach for that one a lot. And finally I'll do a swatch of the highlight in the middle and the matte shade. I don't know how well they'll show up. Okay, so that's the highlight. It does show up quite well, but my finger was wet from the makeup wipes that I've been using to take the swatches off the back of my hand, so that seems to help. And that is the matte colour. That has taken me about 3 coats to get it to look that dark. So I say it's not the best matte in the world and would definitely recommend using one from another palette that you might have. Overall, I'm really pleased with this palette and so glad that I did purchase it, because it is much brighter colours than I usually tend to go for. I do like a more muted neutral tone eyeshadow, but this has made me experiment a bit more with colours and be a bit more adventurous in my eye colour. So that's it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. Thanks.